I see you. I see you seeing me. Team Hoff, how are we? I've I, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not very good at scheduling these. I think spontaneity and spur of the moment is somewhat of a contradiction to scheduling these, but I might have to rethink that. I think it's good to combine discipline with flexibility. Is that a paradox? Is that a paradox? Be disciplined with your spontaneity. I don't know. I'll have to think about that some more. Good to see you. I've missed you. I was supposed to be here at midnight. It is midnight. It's 5:29 a.m. is the new midnight in the Midwest, all right? I'm in Olathe, Kansas. Look us up on the map. We're a quaint little suburb on the outskirts of metropolitan Kansas City. It's kind of a big deal, you know, if you live on the Kansas side or the Missouri side. There's a bit of snobbery living over in Johnson County, Kansas, but who cares? People, it has a lot to do with the school system. We have very good schools over here in Johnson County, Kansas. Overland Park, Olathe, Lenexa, Blue Valley. There's nothing wrong. Parents want good schools for their children. That's human nature. Good public schools are going to attract families, young families that want to own a single-family home at a, you know, I think the median price is $230, $240, something like that. You can get into homes compared to the rest of the country. We have some very reasonable median house pricing and rent. I pay $650 for my little one bedroom here in Olathe, and that's I was paying $500 forever, and just now it's had to go up a little bit because inflation and all that. So you know me. This is a tube that I filled with my own tobacco, and it's tobacco. All right, I'm not into that weird stuff. Yeah, I don't expect I'll be taking any phone calls tonight. 5 in the morning. There's not anybody around. Now, I did have quite an idea. I have these Hoff hoodies. All right, I got these. There was talk in the David Hasselhoff support group about a sweatshirt, and I took it seriously. I said, "Oh, I'm going to design one." And then they're all over the place. Look where we got the Hoff over there. We got the Hoff back there. This was my imagination, and I thought it was cool because Hoff is in my heart. Hoff's in my heart. I spent all that time with him, and he's a good one. He's not a Hollywood phony. He comes from the heart. He was destined to be a beacon that has drawn us all together. There's something about Hoff that we resonate to, right? What do you resonate to about Hoff? Anyway, I've got a dozen brand new Hoff hoodies, and Hass is in a cash crunch. All right, at cost. They cost me $30, and it's going to cost me $10 to ship them. I got 12 of them that have the sleeves and are more wintry with the hoods. I got 12 of them. I got larges, extra larges, and double XLs for $40. If anybody's interested in a Hoff hoodie, that's my cost. It really is. To ship it and to have them produced was $30. I got larges, XLs, and double XLs. Now I got 3 sleeveless ones down at my seamstress. I've got 1 large, an XL, and a double XL being produced without sleeves. She's taking the sleeves off and doing a very, very clean seam. Now, I've already seen them. I just I haven't paid her yet. And it was $60 for $64 for me to have all three of them done. If you want a sleeveless one, a large, an XL, or a double XL sleeveless, I would sell that for $60. So Hass has got 15 Hoff hoodies for sale. 12 brand new sleeved ones. I got larges, XLs, and double XLs. $40. That would include the shipping. If you're interested, PM me. We would do it with PayPal. I have a PayPal account. It is my I'm not that experienced with PayPal. It's my email or my phone number, I believe. So get a hold of me through private message if you have an interest in a Hoff hoodie for $40 or a sleeveless for $60. I had planned to just give them away, and I have. I had 30 of them. 15 of them have been given away, and I probably owe somebody one. I think our prize winner. I'm sorry if I've forgotten to send one out. So we talked this afternoon. I talked about, let's not get too bent out of shape about these fraudsters. This isn't always going to exist, all right? Let's not get bent out of shape about it. People are going to scam and do things. Captain Hart, he tells me that don't focus on this. Don't get all bent out of shape. You know, people are going to try to commit fraud, and all you're going to do is giggle at it and say, nice try, fella. Nice try. I'm not a dummy. I didn't just fall off the turnip truck, you know. I know what you're trying to do. Yeah, okay, I believe you. Yeah, you're David. Wow, I'm so excited. I'm talking to David Hasselhoff. Oh, David, you're in trouble? Oh, you can't buy Haley a anniversary gift because you're broke? Oh, David, let me send you a gift card from Amazon. I want you to be able to buy Haley some flowers or something for your anniversary, David. I'm so sorry you're broke. Come on. Are you going to be that gullible? Come on. David's broke. David needs an Amazon gift card. Oh, come on. Hoff is not broke. He is the most bankable celebrity in the business. I mean, come on. The Germans keep giving him TV shows. He can cut deals wherever he wants. But he's a very, very astute businessman. He loves to negotiate. He loves to wheel and deal and find out, you know, hey, they're offering me this. And if you get into a business negotiation, there's just hundreds of details to hammer out and figure out. And, you know, how do we make this win-win for the TV distributor and for me? And is it going to help my career? Is it going to help them? There's so many complicated variables. It's not just, you know, somebody pulls out their pocket cam and we shoot a TV shoot. No, it's so complex to form any kind of production. So, yeah. I don't think I'm meant to smoke. I can't keep this thing lit. Yeah, I got stuff falling off over here. No, that was my comb. My hairstylist did not show up for work tonight. Neither did my makeup person. I've got bags under there. They have special makeup. It will stretch your skin and make the bagginess look less pronounced. However, can we point our camera up a little? Down here, squat. Yeah, there's Old Glory. I got two of them. So we're just going to spend a little time together tonight. Me looking around is me trying to see my screen because I've set up my camera in a disadvantageous way so it blocks my screen. You guys need to try this live casting. It's exciting. You get the feeling of being in front of a camera. If you guys want to get into the movie business, that's what I knew. My heart, my captain was screaming, you gotta. I was fascinated with the film and television business. How does that work? What is that like? It was way, way out in Southern California, but I had an aunt and an uncle and a cousin that lived in Orange County. So I had a slight connection. I had a slight connection to the Southern California region where I think there's 30 million people. It's like 10% of the U.S. population lives in Southern California. Hey, hi Hazel. Oh, thank you. You're a sweetheart. If you want to feel like a speck, go out to Southern California and not really know very many people and try and get settled in. I did it when I was like 19. I just knew I had to be out there, and it took me a lot of tries. My first try, I lasted about 4 months, and I was 19. I got homesick, and I made a good stab at it. I stayed with my aunt and uncle for a couple weeks, but I'm very independent. I wanted to be on my own, so I went out and found a little job, and I rented a room from a physician that rented he was kind of a struggling physician that rented the 3 bedrooms in his house to various knuckleheads like me, and that went fine. We had full house privileges and a very nice house in Orange County. It was even in a gated community, which is kind of silly. I don't know how I feel about gated communities. I mean, is the world that dangerous that you got to live behind a gate? I don't perceive the world as that dangerous. Now, if I were a Hoff, good God, I hope he's in a gated community, and I don't want to say too much, but a member of our community has found out kind of where Hoff lives, and that is incredibly guarded information. And I've advised, do not ever let anybody know that you have secret, juicy information about a celebrity, because it freaks the celebrities out. All right, it freaks them out. Or how in the world did somebody find out my private information? My privacy is the only thing I have that is mine. And I know this person is incredibly sensitive and will not ever divulge that they have that information. And because I was a dum-dum that very first season of Baywatch. There was a list of crew and cast. It was cast floating around, and it had Hoff's private personal phone number. And I was just a work associate that first season, NBC, you know. Hoff didn't really know me. I didn't really know him. I was his stand-in. I was his photo double. I did one stunt that season. We had a stunt coordinator, David. He became a pretty well-known, famous director, and he passed away a few years ago. God, I wish I could think of his last name. He gave me a stunt at Hoff's. Hoff said, hey, it was just some scene where Hoff was fully clothed and running into the ocean, and Hoff was always trying to throw money my direction, and that would have been like $600 plus probably $600 of overtime and then some residuals on a network TV show. So Hoff was always, it wasn't that he didn't want to do the stunt. He knew, you know, I'm a stand-in. I don't make that much money, and he was always looking for opportunities to throw my direction, where it was, it was borderline. He could have done it. He would have done it, but why not let Hass do it? I always remember that first contract. They call it having a contract that I got to do NBC. Anyway, it had his his private number on there, and I tucked it away. And during the off season, we didn't know what was going to happen. I left him a message, and it irritated him more than anything, because he didn't like that his private number was floating around the set, and that there's hundreds of people traipsing through the set, and I made the mistake of trying to feel like an insider and call him and say, "Hey, Hoff, what a great season it was." And yeah, it wasn't a big deal, but it really emphasized what a precious commodity privacy is to what precious commodity privacy is to a celebrity like Hoff. And Hazel Kitching is here. Hazel, I didn't expect to have a audience at what time zone are you in, Hazel? And I know there's a big old delay. It's like I say something and you won't hear this for 10 or 15 seconds after I say it. I am in the central time zone here I'm right on the state line of Kansas and Missouri, and I feel like you're East Coast for some reason, Hazel. Are you East Coast? Are you like 6:45 in the morning right now? And I feel like you have trouble sleeping because all of that spine and nerve pain you have. I feel like night times are just oh, you're in the UK. Holy cow. No wonder we get along so well. I love you British women. Man, Christine Draper introduced me to a gal named Liz. Your accents over there are just so charming, and shoot, you and I need to do a chat. It doesn't have to be a video chat. It can be just an audio chat. I just adore the British accent, and I have a bit of a charming Midwestern. They call it a Midwestern farm twang. So I'm sure there's a bunch of charm in my little Garth Brooks sort of lilt. Anyway, I had no idea. Somehow I envisioned you. I don't know what I envisioned. I just envisioned I don't know. We get the weirdest, it was like I was supposed to go up to Gumball, and I had this vision of what it would look like when me and Christine were chasing down Hoff and getting our interview. And then when I saw the actual footage of him waving the flag, it looked so different than what I had pictured. But it's like that so often. Yeah. I don't know. So we get these pictures. Who knows where they come from? Now, I'm a little bit proud of my backdrop. I'm trying to, how do I do that? Okay, there's a flag there and a flag there. I think it's important to be a patriot. I think people in the UK be proud of Great Britain. And as far as I know, that includes England, Wales, Scotland. Now I'm all confused on Ireland. So doesn't it include Ireland but not Northern Ireland, or is it the other way around? Northern Ireland is part of Great Britain and Ireland's not? Or, and then I thought there was one other. I thought there was another province, or isn't there something else that's part of Great Britain proper? I don't know. Who's a geography expert in here? Did I finish that one? People, I'm saving money. You buy the empty tubes. All right, this is an empty tube. It's got nothing in it. See that? Then, my friend bought these for me. They're too long, so I have to cut them off. I cut them off right there. Then I put them in this machine. Look at this little machine. All right, so the tobacco, it goes in there, and then you stick the tube on there, and you turn this crank. This crank goes down, and it pumps the tobacco into there. And you have worked for your cigarette. It slows down your smoking, and I think the tobacco is a little of better quality, or I don't think it has all the additives and all that stuff. So then you roll it and you pack it by pounding it. You pack it, then you tear that off, then you find your fire. Now fire looks good on camera. I got the fan going. I think the temperature has collapsed all around the planet. We had it was rain and kind of 74-ish. I don't know my centigrades. I know you people are whining about 37s, and I'm doing the conversions, and I'm like, well, I'm living with 40, 41 with humidity. So I don't feel that bad for you 36, 37 whiners, all right? Oh, Hazel is helping me. I got to pay attention, Hazel. There's another gumball. Okay, Ireland, it's a separate island. But what's Northern Ireland? All right, and which one is part of the, I know it's an island, but one of the islands is part of the is part of Great Britain, and one of them is independent, is my understanding. So there's an Ireland and a Northern Ireland, but I need to go get educated. Now, Hazel, this gumball in November, where is it going to be? Because it's not going to be North America again. No, it was unusual that they even did North America in May. It was May. It was May and early June. That was the one Christine and I were going to do, and it all collapsed. And I found my hospital footage. I found my Hoff Crazy hospital footage. My friend Billy said that was good stuff, so I found it and I put it up on my Hoff Crazy YouTube channel. I am supposed to be able to leave oh hell. I'm supposed to be able to choose a link and show you guys a link while I'm on. Alright, I'm going to try and show it. Alright, choose a link. I showed it. Alright. Now, how do I get back to where I was? I can't see myself anymore. Alright. You had a 40. Okay. Yes, the Middle East. That's what I thought. And that's their see, I think they have two. Well, they have like the major event, and then I think the half-year event is not quite as big of a deal, but yeah, that's what I heard. It's going to be the Middle East, and I don't know that Hoff gets involved in that one. I mean, good Lord, how many gumball events can he be involved in? I think his primary involvement is with the yearly big deal. I don't think the one in November is, I don't know, maybe they're trying to turn it into a big deal. You had 40. Well, 40, I think 40. I don't want to do the conversion. Once I start hitting buttons when I'm live casting, I inevitably throw myself off somehow. So Hazel, you're very good at computer. What does 40 convert to in the Fahrenheit scale? I think 40 is about 96 or 7, isn't it? And that that's kind of desert temperatures, but 40 in the desert is very different than 40 in the UK, which is, you guys are just as wet as we are here in the Midwest. Oh, it's 105? Okay, I've been exaggerating a little then. Well, they give us, here's the actual temperature, which is 37, but it feels like 40. Do you guys get those sort of reports? They say because of humidity levels, because it's super high humidity, when it's 36 or 37, it feels like 40. 105. I didn't know it was that high. Wow. Thank you, Hazel. This is another personal broadcast. By the way, you're welcome to share that link. It's not private. It's what's called unlisted, meaning if you want to share it with anybody, I have no problem with it. I did a little 5-minute trying to describe the antics of what goes on a film set. And anybody that's ever been on a work site, I would compare it almost to a construction work site, or I don't know, it's, there's a project going on. And most of these guys are men. The departments where the women are prevalent is wardrobe. A lot of women in wardrobe, makeup, hair, body makeup. See, our show had a special department called body makeup, and we had a gal, Joanna, that was devoted to smoothing out the skin tones of actors and actresses, because skin can film, just bare skin film's very different than, you've got to even out skin. And then when Pamela married Tommy Lee, she got that barbed wire tattoo. I think it was on her left, just above her left bicep, and the producers, they weren't having it. No, that don't work for Baywatch. This is 1994, 95. When did that all happen? No. I'm sorry, Pam. So one of Joanna's assignment every time Pam was on camera was to very artfully cover up that barbed wire tattoo that Pamela Anderson Lee had on her, I think it was her left bicep. Now, it was just kind of funny because I think Joanna had to take some time off to have a baby. Joanna Balkan. And she had to leave to go have a baby, and we had the gal that was Drew Barrymore's body makeup person, because Drew Barrymore is just covered in all kinds of body tattoos, and this gal was an expert in covering up Drew Barrymore's body tattoos. It's tattoos. I've so lost my stigmatic feelings about them. They used to just carry a negativity, or I don't feel that way about them anymore. We grow, we evolve. I used to just think, you're just trying to be different like everybody else. That's a funny thing. I'm gonna make a personal statement and look like everybody else that's making a personal statement. Nah, I view it differently now. I'm not as judgmental. In fact, there were some pictures of Erica Aleniak. God, Erica was so beautiful. Is so beautiful. She came from E.T. Have you seen Erica as like a 13 or 14-year-old? Oh, Hazel, we got to get you on a film set. You'd love it. You could be an extra. You could be a background player, Hazel. You know how much production go? Are you? Are you? I get the feeling you're probably kind of rural and not close to a major center, which would obviously be London. I mean, good God, there's as much film production in London as there is in Hollywood. I think London is just a hub of film and television production. Yeah. Hazel, I want you on a film set. I want you I want you just to feel what it's like cuz you're so curious. What's it like and you'll get a feel for it. It'll some parts will pleasantly surprise you and the big parts that will surprise you is how boring it is. How you're sitting around all day doing nothing. That's what a film set is, sitting around all day doing nothing, waiting for the shot to get set up. If you're an extra, they'll feed you, they'll give you a good lunch, they'll give you a craft service, which is like snacks and stuff to nosh on while you're waiting to shoot. And I want everybody who's fascinated with the film business, I want you to pay attention to what's going on in your city, your town. Something's going to be shooting, and they're going to be looking for extras. Become an extra. That's what I started doing. It was fun, man. I was on a bunch of sets. I got to be on Highway to Heaven. I got to be on a bunch of episodes of Coach with Craig T. Nelson. I was on a bunch of episodes of Moonlighting with Bruce Willis. I was on a bunch of independent movies. I got a nice little shot on They Live. It's kind of become a cult film. That I'm dressed up in a suit, walking down the street with my briefcase, and there's a really good shot of me as a 28-year-old or however old I was. So, oh, I didn't know that. Hazel, you are just a fountain of information about what's going on with the Hoffs. All right, so Taylor, well, so Hazel, is that whole thing on Hoff's back? That's just makeup, right? That's not real. Hoff doesn't have any tattoos, does he? He's old school, kind of like me. He still feels a negativity about tattoos. What's going on with that deal on Hoff's back? And I don't think he really has any tattoos, does he? Or is he coy about that and he doesn't really want to tell the world? Well, Hazel, you're just a mess. Between your spinal pain and your asthma and I'll bet you got ingrown toenails as well, Hazel. I want to hear about your ingrown toe. No, I'm just teasing you. You truly do have some severe pain. I'm not making fun of that. I'm just sometimes we get people that talk about their health issues and God dang, I get in here on here and talk about my health issues. I got a DVT. I got a deep vein thrombosis down there, which I do, but I think it's getting better on its own. I'm supposed to get an ultrasound and supposedly it's going to break loose and hit my lungs or my heart or my brain and kill me, but I had one about 7 years ago and I don't know. Oh, gosh, see, that's kind of reinforces. I don't know. Hoff. I resonate to Hoff with that for some reason. Yeah, Hoff. He's 10 years older than me. He's like an older brother. See, I had two older brothers that took their own lives, and I'm gonna tear up now. Hoff has a 10-year-old brotherly feeling for me. Somebody I just really look up to. Yeah. My brothers had good energy, but God, they were in a lot of pain, and they just had to end their own lives. Don't do that. Don't do that to your family. Don't do that. Don't do that to your family. I don't care how much pain you're in. Don't take your own life. Don't do that to your family. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Call somebody. You call somebody. You call somebody. Hey, I'm about to take my own life. I'm at the end of my rope. You call somebody. You don't make a plan. You don't make a plan. You can feel desperate. You don't make a plan, all right? Do not make a plan. I've never had a plan. I felt pretty desperate. You reach out. All right, you call me. I don't care what you do. You call me. Oh, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. Well, I'm going to tell you talk to me before you. No, you're not going to do it. No, you're not going to do it. No. No. You don't have that right. You don't have that right to do that. You don't do that to other people. You hear me? You don't do that to other people. All right. I don't mind getting emotional. This is important stuff. We got a lot of people that are hurting out there. I know we do. That's why I'm doing this. We got to create some community. We got to start talking to each other, saying, "Hey, I know things are rough. Things are rough. You tell me about the roughness. I'm not going to tell you it's not rough. It is rough." So, I love feeling things. Feeling things. That's the whole reason we're here, is to feel things. Let's leave it at that. Alright. I have a very special place in my heart for people that are feeling despondent. And you may be faking it. You may just be playing around with the idea. Who knows? Who cares? You need to talk about it. Alright? I'm going to pause for a minute. This is a good one. Yeah. You get on the phone. Get on the phone. Tell somebody what's going on, all right? All right. I got 2 minutes till 40. That's going to be a good 40. TV shows are cut to about 42 or 44 minutes to include 22 or 24 minutes worth of commercials. So I got Hoff hoodies. If you want one, $40. I got 12 of them. Larges, XLs, 2XLs. That includes the shipping. Private message me. I got 3 sleeveless ones for $60. I got a large, an XL, and a double XL. That includes shipping. Those cost me $20 to have the sleeves cut off, and my seamstress put a very nice finished edge on the sleeveless. And I've got 12 of the larges, XLs, and double XLs. We do it through PayPal. My PayPal account is hoffcrazy211@gmail.com. But PM me first or email me, hoffcrazy211@gmail.com. I think that also works through phone numbers, but I'm not that experienced with PayPal. So, all right. I hope if you want a Hoff hoodie, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. My design. Hey, there's only 30 of them in existence. I've given away 15 of them, and I'm gonna sell 15 of them at my cost. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Let's be a community. Let's say hi to each other. Let's interact. Let's do video chat. Let's do audio chat. All right. I love you guys. I miss you. I miss you guys. Yeah.